Welcome students to second session of Organism and Population. In this session, we will talk about population, population attributes and growth model. When we talk about population, the idea of human population come in our mind. Yes, number of organisms living together in a geographical area makes a population. They share or compete for similar resources, being the members of the same species, being adapted in the similar manner. They are able to interbreed among themselves. So this group will make a population. So we can define population is a group of individuals of the same species residing in a particular geographical area at a particular time and functioning as a unit of ecology. There are various examples of population which are found around us. For example, you are culturing bacteria in laboratory on a petri dish. So the area for those bacteria will be that petri dish only. So the number of bacteria present on that petri dish makes a population of bacteria. There may be various lotus plants together in a pond, in a water body. So this is a population of lotus. There will be different populations like population of teakwood trees in a forest tract, population of rats at a dwelling place. So these are some examples of population. Let's take the aspect of population in respect of individual. Individual will be a single organism, whereas population is the group of organisms. An organism may take birth or may die, but a population cannot take birth as number of organisms are living together. There may be some birth, there may be some death. Hence, it is said there is birth rate of a population, death rate of a population, that what is the percentage of birth or death in a population at a particular time, say 1 year. Similarly, an organism may be male or female. A population cannot be male or female. There may be a group of organisms which are male, there are some female. So we say its sex ratio. What is the percentage of male or female is present in a population? Similarly, you can find an individual is of some age, say 5 years, but a population cannot be 5 years. Some people in the population may be in the age group, say 0 to 5 years, or in the second age group, say 5 to 20 years, or more than 20 years. So we say it is age distribution. In this way, we can find certain specific characteristics which a population has but not an organism. These are known as attributes of population, characteristics of a population. So these are the properties which a population has. They are best expressed as statistical variables. They are the unique position of the group. Of course, they cannot be the characteristics of particular individual. These attributes of a population are birth rate, death rate, sex ratio, age distribution, population density, and population growth. Let's take one by one in detail. As I told you, these are the statistical variable, so we can calculate it with the help of certain figures. First of all, take birth rate and death rate. This individual is taking birth and is added to the population. Here, this individual dies and is removed from the population. Hence, we can say birth rate determines the increase in number of organisms in a population, and death rate determines the decrease in number of organisms in a population. Birth rate and death rate both can be calculated as per capita in a population. We can express them as per birth per year or per death per year. This can be understood with the help of simple examples. For example, if in a pond there were 20 lotus plants last year, and through reproduction 8 new plants are added, taking the current population to 28. How will you calculate the birth rate? Out of 28 or 20? No. Birth rate is calculated out of initial population. So birth rate of lotus plants in this pond is 8 out of 20. It is 0.4 offspring per lotus per year. Similarly, we can calculate death rate. For example, 4 individuals in a laboratory population of fruit flies, which were 40 in a week, died. What would be the death rate? Now there are only 36. So you will calculate death rate out of 40, not out of 36. So death rate will be 4 out of 40, that is 0.1 individuals per fruit fly per week. Hence we saw this birth rate and death rate are calculated in a population. These cannot be attributes of the organism. Third very important attribute of a population is sex ratio. It is the percentage of male and females in a population. Some individuals in a population will be male and some are female. Say for example, here it is a population of 9 organisms, 5 males and 4 females. So for finding sex ratio, we calculate the percentage. Percentage of males is 5 out of 9, that is 55.6%, and percentage of female is 4 by 9, that is 44.4%. Third important attributes of population is age distribution. Percent of individuals of a given age group is known as age distribution. In a population, there are certain people who are in the age group of 0 to 10 years. There may be some people between 10 to 30 years and some other are more than 30 years. So it is taken as a group, age group of a particular population. If we say the people of certain age group are in reproductive age, some may be not in reproductive age, they may be pre-reproductive age, or some may be in post reproductive age. So, similarly, we can say that age distribution influences birth rate and death rate of that particular population. Age distribution is very important to find for a population because it indicates that what is expected in the future. We can make our plan according to the age distribution of a population. Usually, a rapidly expanding population will contain a large proportion of young individuals. Then, government has to decide what type of planning should be done. In certain cases, government gives certain incentives to the people who have a small family because the population explosion is there. Hence, to maintain the country, it is necessary to keep an eye on the age distribution, whether the population is increasing or decreasing. If a population is declining, the government has to take another incentive that they give to the people who have large family. So this is very important that age distribution of a population should be clear. Age distribution can be well expressed in the form of a pyramid that is known as population pyramid. It is the graphical representation which is represented by three age categories. It is pre-reproductive, that is 0 to 18 years, reproductive, that is 19 to 50, and more than 50 years of age people are taken in the post-reproductive group. So age pyramid, we say these are the structures which are plotted when age distribution for a population. As I told you, these are very important because they reflect the growth status of the population. They are used by demographers who studied human population, as a tool for understanding the makeup of a given population. Planning of government is with the help of these age pyramid. We can decide the level of education, and it is an important part of human geography and environmental science. If we see scenarios of age pyramid, we find three different types of population. This is very important topic from exam point of view. By seeing this pyramid, we can decide whether a population is expanding, is stable or declining. If you find more number of organisms in pre-reproductive and reproductive age, it means they will increase the population, whereas there are less number of people in post-reproductive age. So this population will be expanding population. If there are equal number of people in pre-reproductive age and post-reproductive age, we say the population will be stable. And if a population has more people in post-reproductive age, then the population will be declining. We can take examples of certain countries. You find here rapid growth in the first pyramid, as in Afghanistan, India, China. Here we are seeing number of organisms in age group up to 30 years or more. We have more young generation, and the people in the age group above 50 are very less. The population is expanding at enormous rate. On the other hand, see the case of Austria. It is a well balanced population. It is known as stable population. But you find the third case as the case of Italy, Japan. Population is declining. So we can say this plotting of age pyramids is very important to have a view on the scenario of a country. There is one more attribute of a population, that is population density. It is the measurement of the number of people in an area. We can say density is defined as population per unit area. This area may be in meter or maybe in kilometer depending upon the population. Say for example the population of bacteria we take on a petri dish, a small area. Population of human being we will decide for a country, for a state or for a city. So this area may be in kilometers or in a small unit. So number of organisms per unit area or per volume is known as population density. The population density is represented by letter capital N. This population density also gives the idea that the population is growing. We can calculate it. The size of a population for any species is not a static parameter. As you know, birth rate increase the population, death rate decrease the population. It keeps changing with time. Of course, the growth of a population depends on various factors. Say, availability of food, the pressure of predators, weather conditions, and competitions for resources. So, population is not a static parameter. This can be simply explained with the help of an example. This is the population of birds on a tree. Some birds took birth. They were added to the population. Whereas some were eaten by predators. They died. This decreased the population. Some birds may visit that tree. There is immigration. Again, number is added. Or if some were flying to some other trees, they are decreasing the population. So we can say the population growth is not a static one. It is dynamic. It is going on changing. And this change in population is due to certain factors. Number one, natality, that is birth rate, which will add the population. Immigration, coming inside, increase the population. Mortality, decrease the population. Immigration also decrease the population. Let's take these factors. Natality, that is equal to birth rate. How many number of births are taking place during a given period in a population? This natality adds people to the initial density. This increases the population. Mortality, number of deaths in a population during a given period. It decreases the population. Immigration is the number of individuals of a population who left the habitat and gone elsewhere during the time period under consideration. Of course, this will decrease the population. On the other hand, immigration, that individuals of the same species have come into the habitat from elsewhere, and this is known as immigration that adds to the population. Hence, population density can be easily represented with the help of this figure. You will add natality and immigration, and you will subtract mortality and immigration. These are the parameters that affect the size or density of a population. As I told you, these attributes of a population are statistical. We can calculate them with simple formulas, as we calculated birth rate, death rate. We can also calculate the population density with the help of this simple formula. For example, if Nt is the population of a place at a given time t, Nd plus 1, what will be the population density after 1 year? Simply, we will add birth and immigration and subtract death and immigration from the initial population. When the population is not static, it is increasing, then what will be the model of increase in the population? These are known as growth models. There are two main growth models, that is exponential growth model and logistic growth model. Exponential growth model and logistic growth model can be well represented with the help of a graph. In the first graph, you are seeing the growth rate of the population accelerates. It is coming G shape. On the other hand, the population size is increasing at a slower rate, that is known as logistic growth. Let's take one by one. Exponential growth. Exponential growth takes place under two certain conditions. Number one, resources are unlimited. And the second is the reproductive potential. If the resources are unlimited, that is not a realistic one. Of course, it can take place in laboratory condition where you can provide the nutrition to the growth of bacteria or for the growth of fungi, say yeast. Means resources should be unlimited, then only we will find the exponential growth. Second important factor, as I told you, the organism should have full potential, that is reproductive potential. We say the population should be fit in terms of Darwin. Darwin fitness say the full reproductive potential. So if the organisms of a population are getting unlimited resources and they are fit, they are having full reproductive potential, this population will show accelerated growth. And this can be calculated by decrease or increase at a particular time. For example, dn upon dt is equal to b minus dn. Here n is the population size. This mathematical expression can also be given with the help of formula nt is equal to n naught ERT. The population grows in an exponential or geometric population. When a population shows exponential growth, the curve plotted with n in relation to time assumes J shape. Here is an example. The protection was given in 1940 to the whooping crane, and this see the population is increasing at an exponential rate. The second growth model is logistic growth model, because in natural conditions the resources are limited. When resources are limited, so no population can grow continuously in the exponential form, because at one time when the resources become limited, the population has to check, it has to decrease. Hence, this is known as logistic growth pattern. Logistic growth pattern assumes S shape. You see, if the graph is plotted between time and number of individuals, that is population density, in the beginning we will find lag phase, that is slow growth will be there. Then there will be log phase, that is exponential phase. They will get adapted and the population will increase, and a time will come when no more individuals can be sustained, means the earth has a carrying capacity, that how many individuals can be supported by a limited area. So this carrying capacity is attained, then there will be no more increase in population. Hence the graph is S-shaped graph, sigmoid growth curve. This also can be calculated by dn upon dt is equal to Rn k minus n upon k, where n is the population density, R is the intrinsic rate of natural increase, that is birth minus death. How many people are taking birth and how many are dying, that decides the intrinsic rate of increase. And K is the carrying capacity. So we find a plot of population density in relation to time in sigmoid curve, where resources for growth are limited. They become limited sooner or later. There is no competition. So then in the beginning it increases, and when they become limited it decreases. So this type of population growth is known as Walhurst-Pearl logistic growth. It has three phases: lag phase, log phase or phase of acceleration, and then phase of deceleration. In nature, a given habitat has enough resources to support a maximum possible number, beyond which no further growth is possible, and this limit is known as nature's carrying capacity. It is represented by K for particular species in a particular habitat. Hence, we can say in nature, the logistic growth model is considered a more realistic one as compared to exponential one. So we can say there are two types of population growth. One is exponential population growth, another is logistic population growth. exponential population growth is generally in laboratory conditions, or we can provide the conditions for other animals like I told you about the cranes. Whereas logistic population growth is the realistic one, because when species are increasing, there must be competition and resources become limited, and the earth has a particular carrying capacity. Both exponential growth curve and logistic population growth can be calculated with the help of formulas. For population growth in the exponential form, it is dn upon dt is equal to Rn. R is the intrinsic rate of natural growth. That intrinsic rate generally B minus D. How many births have been taken in a population and how many deaths have been taken. Secondly, in logistic population growth, because there is carrying capacity, so it is Rn k minus n upon k. So mathematically, population growth can be calculated and defined. Here you can have a look of the history of human population growth. It is decreased at a slow rate, and nowadays, because more medical facilities are there, then population growth is increasing. You can see the continent wise, most of the human population is concentrated in Asia, and you find less population in European countries. I can give you one example. You can calculate it. If a population growing exponentially double in size in 3 years, you see the population become double in size in 3 years. Time is 3 years. What is the intrinsic rate of increase of the population? Intrinsic rate that I told you R. So how will you calculate? With simple formula, exponential growth equation, that is nt is equal to n naught ert. Here nt is the population density after time t, n naught it is the population density, initial population density say at time 0. R is the intrinsic rate of natural increase, and here E is the base of natural log. Its value is 2.71828. From the above equation, we can calculate the incident rate of increase R. As per population, as per question, the present population density was X. It became double, that is 2x. Time, that is 3 years. T is equal to 3 years. So substituting the value in the formula, nt after time t it become 2x. At time initial time 0 it is x. So 2x is equal to x e to the power rt. R is intrinsic, we have to find R, and t is here 3 times. You apply log on both sides and you will find the value of R as 0.2311. So dear students, these are the very important topics for population and especially in human population. Thank you.